I'm here today at Crawley Police Station to interview our very new District Commander Chief Inspector Justina Beeken, and I'd like to introduce you now. What was your inspiration for becoming a police officer?
I'd always been interested in the police force as a career, or maybe the military. When I was growing up, I come from a forces background, and also have a lot of family members who were in the police. So I've always had contact with the police officers and thought that it was a really interesting and valuable career. I didn't join until I was a little bit older, in fact, and I had a career prior to joining the police. But I first started off as a special constable, where I joined the specials because I wanted to see if it was a career that was for me. And as soon as I started doing that, I realised that I really did want to be a police officer. And as soon as Sussex started recruiting again many years ago, I applied to join and got straight in. Although I did intend to join the police when I left university, I wasn't successful at that time to join. But I did a degree in mechanical engineering, so having not got into the police when I left university, I then went and used my degree for a bit. So I worked for various companies over a sort of 6 to 8 year period in that field, in mechanical engineering.
And what do you find is the most rewarding part of doing your job?
I think the most rewarding part at any point during my career has always been about making things better for people. So when the worst things happen, to do my bit to try and make things right again. So it sounds a bit cliched, but it's really is about, you know, doing the best for people.
Yeah, of course. What's the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part is realising that I can't always do it all on my own. I do need to have help from other people, but it's also juggling the responsibility of the job and the workload with also being a mum and having a young family, and that can be quite hard, getting that balance right. And I don't get it right all the time, but...
No, because you are a mum, aren't you?
I am, yes.
I mean, we weren't going to mention that, but you do actually have a life outside of being a police officer.
Absolutely.
And what do your family think about you being a police officer?
Well, my husband's only ever known me as a police officer, so he got what it said on the tin, really. My daughter is very proud of me, and as are my family and extended family. Being
a female, you've made your way to pretty much the top now, and so the equality side must be very well recognised within the police force.
Oh, absolutely. The equality in the police, I mean, I can say hand on heart, I've never felt discriminated against for being a woman. Yeah. I've never experienced any issues in the workplace with regards to it. The workforce is very balanced, male-female ratio, and hopefully that will continue.
Tell us a little bit about more how you became stationed at Crawley, because you're just recently here, aren't you?
Yes.
How long have you been here now?
It's November last year I started now, so the time has flown. But time has flown, I have to say. Basically, what happens is when there are promotion processes, generally the force look at who is stationed where and whether people need to move to get different opportunities and different experiences. I wasn't initially coming to Crawley after I finished my last role. I was going somewhere else, but it was a case of I had a phone call from one of the ACPO officers who said that they'd like me to come to Crawley to take on the role here.
And your thoughts on Crawley?
Wow. I absolutely love working. I've worked in Crawley before as an inspector. I was the custody inspector here for some time. I absolutely love Crawley. It's so varied, so different. No day is the same. I never know quite what I'm going to come into in the morning when I come to work, but I absolutely love that about the job. So.
That the crime rate in Crawley really actually is very good.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
I believe that the crime rate in Crawley is good. Across the district there was a reduction again last year, and those trends are continuing into this year.
What would you put that down to?
We do have a highly visible policing team here, both response and neighbourhood policing, and we have areas of crime that we target to try and reduce. So for my officers here, the key areas that they focus on are around burglaries, because burglaries are a very impactful crime, also domestic abuse, hate and antisocial behaviour, and we do also look at our vehicle crime. Although we don't have targets per se anymore with the Police and Crime Commissioner, we do have an overall target of reduction of crime, and we very much look to do that by targeting those areas. With regards to hate crime, antisocial behaviour and domestic abuse, be it crime or incidents, because those three could involve a crime or actually an incident that's not actually a crime, but still something we would want to know about. With those, I actually want to see those go up. And that may sound a little perverse, but the reason for that is that if people are coming forward and reporting to us, then we can do something about it to help them.
Yeah.
And it's a real key indicator of public confidence in the police to come forward and let us help them with the situation that they're in.
Yeah.
My target with those three areas is, although I want to increase the reporting of those crimes and incidents, is to then try to reduce the repeat victimisation that we do have in all of those areas of crime.
Yeah.
And it's about making people safe.
Would you like to see more communication between the community, the people of Crawley and the police? Obviously, I don't know if everybody's aware, but your interaction with the community has already been extremely visible. You did the Heart in the Park raft race with your team,
yes.
And that was absolutely. And you did the Macarena, Fritz, for the record attempt, the world record attempt. And we do see you out a lot more within the community. Is that your aim for a lot of the higher ranking officers here, to make sure that they do mingle more with the community?
But for me personally, I think it's really important for me to meet as many members of the community as possible. So when I'm invited to events, if I can possibly make it, then I will. Sometimes it requires a bit of diary rejigging, but if I can go, I will go, because I think it's really important for me to represent as the district commander here in Crawley, to be the person that attends those events, that shows my face and shows how much support I personally give to the communities of Crawley, but also the support that my officers are here to give.
Yeah. Because you are the face, really, aren't you? You're the face of the Crawley Police, and you being out there representing them is quite important, really.
It is. And unfortunately, there will always be times when I can't always attend those events, but I will always endeavour to.
Well, if you were to, obviously we are quite aware that there are a lot of people out there that may not think the police are there for them when they need them. We all know the old saying. What would your message be to the people of Crawley to encourage them to maybe report more and be more specific when they call up regarding certain crimes? You're always there to listen, aren't you, here?
Absolutely. And it's really key to me that people of Crawley do report things to us. But they tell us, information if they're aware that something's happened. If they see somebody suspicious because they think they're hanging around somebody's house, might be, looking at it to perhaps burgle it, then please ring us. We will attend wherever we possibly can. Not everything is an emergency, but there are certain calls that will always be an emergency for us, and we will attend, as quickly as we possibly can. But I would always urge people to come forward. If it's emergency, ring 999. If it's to report perhaps a lower level crime, then ring 101. Or report online, as I've mentioned. Having different opportunities and different methods to contact us, I think, is really key for people. Also, we do use social media a lot. However, I will say that isn't monitored 24/7, so it shouldn't be used to report crime or suspicious acts to us. That is really more about us engaging with the public and having a method to get messages out to people. But as I say, I would always encourage people to report things to us, because if we don't know about it, we can't do anything about it.
So how do you find all the staff here? Are they accepting you well, and how have they taken you in so far?
Well, I have to say the team I have here at Crawley are absolutely fantastic. They work so hard. They do go above and beyond, and I absolutely love it when I get letters of thanks in from members of the public praising the actions of officers, because then I always call them in to come and see me, so I can personally thank them for the good piece of work that they've done. That's really important to me, to really support my staff, and I think they would all say that I'm a real people person, and I really appreciate all of the work that they do. They have welcomed me with open arms here at Crawley. I felt incredibly supported by all of the staff here. And I'm just really pleased and proud to lead such a fantastic, proactive policing team.
Chief Inspector Beeken, I'd like to thank you very, very much for talking to us today. It's wonderful to meet you. We're really glad that you've settled into Crawley well. Obviously, we knew Steve Curry as well. It did a lot of good for the town, I'm sure. And I have a feeling that you're going to carry on and probably excel in his good work, and we look forward to seeing it.
Oh, I'm just carrying on the good work that Steve started.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.